Welcome to finding the missing dimension of a prism with a problem that is a little more complicated than the other examples we had. In this example, we have a trapezoidal prism. I know it's a trapezoidal prism because when I look at the sides that are not rectangles, the two bases are trapezoids. So those will be our bases. To do any problem that has a formula, the first thing we do is we write the formula. The volume of a prism is equal to the area of the base, in this case a trapezoid, times the height of the prism, which is the distance between the bases. Now to get the more specific formula, I'll say that the volume is equal to, and I will get the formula for the area of a trapezoid, which is 1/2 times the height times base 1 plus base 2, then times the height of the prism. Step 2 is you plug in the things that you know. Now in this problem, we do know the volume. It is 265 2/10. I'll plug that in, is equal to 1/2. I just write 1/2. For the height of the trapezoid, I look here, and for the height of the trapezoid, that is x. I'll then plug in base 1 plus base 2. Now, the trapezoid is our base. Base 1 and 2 are the two sides that are parallel and not equal. That would be the 16 inches here and the 10 inches here. This line is the same measurement as the one that is parallel on the bottom. So I will do 16 plus 10, then times the height of the prism. Now, the distance between the bases is 6 inches. I will plug in 6. Now that we have plugged in, the last step is to solve. Now, before we can solve the equation, we need to make sure that both sides are simplified. The left side is just 265 2/10. It is simplified. There are no like terms, there are no parentheses. But on the right side, we have like terms and parentheses. So we will simplify using the order of operations, or PEMDAS. We will simplify things in the parentheses first, like 16 plus 10 is 26. Then copy everything we did not use on the right, which is the 6, copy it on the right. And everything we did not use on the left, and that is the x and the 1/2. We keep everything in the same exact order, and the thing that we just added would go directly underneath the plus sign. The next step, we still have like terms. We still have a 1/2, a 26, and a 6. These are a different step of the order of operations. This is multiplication. I'm allowed to do all of that multiplication at once. I'm allowed to do 1/2 times 26 times 6 and get 78. Then copy the x. On the left side, we already have our 265 2/10. Now that nothing can be simplified, we now start looking to solving. We find the variable. It's right here. It's an x. We look at what is happening to the x. It is multiplying by 78. So we do the inverse of multiplying by 78, which is to divide by 78. We'll do 78 divided by 78 on the right, and whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other, which means 265 2/10 divided by 78. On the right side, we have 78 divided by 78, which is 1. 1 times x means that we have activated the identity property. 1 times x is x. On the left side, you may use a calculator and do 265 divided by 2/10 divided by 78, which would give us 3 4/10, and since the label's inches, inches. So to find the missing dimension, we follow the same steps that we have been using whenever we have a formula. We write the formula, we plug the numbers from the problem into the formula, and then we solve.